Mr. Catlin back here with 1.6 homework problems. We're looking at number 2 here, and we've got a right triangle. I'm just going to sketch one over here. Here's a little right triangle. And I want this right triangle to have 36 square units. Well, that means I need to have 72. What is a times fact that has 72? 8 times 9, right? So let's make this bad boy 8 by 9. Because 8 times 9 is 72, and for area of triangles you got to cut them in half, so that would make sense, right? So let's say this is our original triangle here. It has an area inside of 36 square units, and what we want to do, and the reason why that, let me go ahead and explain that. Half times base times height is how you find the area of a triangle, right? And if this is 72, and I just mentioned it, half of 72 is 36. So I picked those sides on purpose. So my original triangle is an 8 by 9 right triangle. Okay? Now, if I scale factor that bad boy up by 2, it's going to become a 16 by an 18. Right? So if I have it scale factored by 2, then I'm going to have 16 times 18. And then I'm going to have to divide that by 2, and it's going to give me my area for that. So that's how we're filling this out. So off the screen, you're not seeing it. I'm using my calculator to do 16 times 18 and then divide that by 2, and I get 144. Okay, so whenever I scale this up by 2 and multiply my numbers as such, I get 144. So this is 144. Now, a lot of students think that you can just multiply 36 times 2 and get that, but it doesn't work that way. You do multiply 36 by a factor to get this number in a shortcut way, but it's not the scale factor. It's the scale factor squared. We talked about this in class. If you want to scale area, you have to square the scale factor. So what would be the number we'd multiply by here, since the scale factor is 3? We would do 3 squared, which is equivalent to 9. And if we do that, we get 36 times 9, which is 324. Let's see if that works, okay? 8 times 3 is 24, right? And 9 times 3 is 27. So if I did that right, then that means that this area, 324, should have been equal to 1/2 times 24 times 27. Now, if I type that in my calculator, half times 24 times 27, I get 324. So it's like a shortcut from doing all of this multiplication. You can just square that in your head and get 25, right? 5 squared is 25, and then multiply that original area by that factor, 5 squared, which is 25, and you will get the answer. So all I got to do is 36 times 25. It's a shortcut. It's helpful. All right, it works with fractions too. Fractions are a little weirder though. You got to do 1/2 times 1/2 to get it squared. So, you know, fraction squares actually get smaller if they're proper like this. So if I multiply 1/2 by itself and square it, I get 1/4. So to get this area of a half scale factor, I would do 36 times 1/4. And that's like doing 36 divided by 4, which should be mental math. That's going to be 9. And then over here, 2/3, I'd have to multiply 36 times 2/3 squared. So that would be times 2/3 squared. Well, 2/3 times 2/3, okay, like this, is the same as just 4/9. So you can multiply 36 times 4/9, which actually turns out really nice in this case. Multiplying 36 times 4/9. All right, if you're not good at, you don't have a calculator that works with fractions like that, you can just do this. There's nothing wrong with 36 times 1, 4/9. In fact, this one works out really good because you got common factors here that reduce. 9 goes into that 4 times, right? So 4 times 4 is 16 over 1. So this is just 16. And there we go. Explain or show our reasoning. I think we have plenty to show how we filled out this table. So you have plenty of good shown work there. Good luck.